She's a part-time model.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a video. The title of the video looks a bit shocking and a bit stern, but I get so much emails from you ladies, especially younger teenage ladies, about this topic about weight. I'm so happy that you were inspired by my previous video, how to love your weight, because it's really important to love your weight, to love yourself. Okay, let's put the weight aside, let's cancel the weight. To love yourself is probably the most important thing. If you don't love yourself, you can't do anything, and that's the truth. And that's the discovery that I've kind of discovered as I've grown, you know, that I'm very important and I come first. Anyway, so I wanted to speak to you about my history in being overweight or fat. I know fat is kind of harsh, and to be honest with you, when people say fat, it is quite painful, I can't lie. I said fat girl problems and that. It was a joking video, and no, I don't think a lot of us are comfortable with being called, oh, you're fat. You know, it's quite harsh because society sees it as an insult. So it's kind of not nice, but for the purpose of this video and my videos, you know, we go really deep and real on this channel. It's okay to kind of refer to it as fat, you know. Anyway, so my mom told me that I was always a big baby, but I think she also said when I was growing up, I didn't like food, surprisingly. At a point, I think probably like toddlerish, like age one, age two, I didn't really like food very much. So what she did is she gave me vitamins. I think her or my dad gave me vitamin 7Cs. I think you probably know about that. I don't know if it's in other parts of the world, but in the UK they sell it in chemists and, you know, pharmacies and stuff. 7Cs vitamins, and I got great eating habits. So I think by the time I was 4, I was quite you know, bigger than my age. And that was nursery time, obviously. I remember I was always bigger. And throughout my whole primary school life, I was always the bigger one. And being the bigger one, it's caused so much embarrassment to me. Like, I remember when my mum used to take me to Marks and Spencer's to buy new clothes. She used to be like, it doesn't fit, and you know, she used to squeeze it on me, and it never fit. And another thing is as well, she never used to let us go to the changing rooms. We always used to try on clothes, like out, and people would look at me, and other children would look at me and kind of laugh and stuff, and things like that really set deep inside me and really hurt me. And I think through all those experiences, including being bullied at school, I developed self-hatred. So I remember as little as 5 years old having suicidal thoughts. I don't know, I've never researched depression in children before, but obviously it is possible, because I believe I was depressed when I was a child. Only looking back, I realized I actually was. So when I remember used to having thoughts of jumping out my window as a 5-year-old, or like as a 6-year-old, just because of who I was and what I looked like, and constantly being told, you're so fat, being teased, or bulubu, you're this, you're that. As much as people say it because they just want to say it, but they don't realize the scars that it leaves so deep. I became so sensitive because of it. Anyway, so throughout my whole childhood, this is something I had struggled with, and by the time I got to secondary school, or in some parts of the world they call it high school, I went to secondary school really large. So I think when I was like age 11, 12, I was wearing probably age 12 to 14 clothes. Probably bigger than that. It might have been even age 16 to 18 actually, or size 16 to 18, not even age. That's the difference. There's a difference between age and size. I was wearing adult size, and to be honest, even as a child, I was eating adult portions. When I'm feeding my son Emmanuel, you know, I would serve him children's portions, but I never ate children's portions. I ate adult portions, and all of that took a toll on me, you know, as growing up. So when I went to secondary school, I feel that I was always somebody who was intrigued, and I was always wanting to experiment. I never had a role model, to be honest. So obviously I went with the bad crowd, you know, and started hanging around with the bad girls. I will explain this to you. The reason why I started doing things like smoking at a young age, doing all sorts of things that I shouldn't at a young age, was because of my weight and my hatred for myself, because I was always being bullied. It wasn't even because of my weight specifically, because you know, if you are at a weight and people make you feel loved for being at that weight, you would love yourself. But if you're at a weight and everyone is telling you that you're not good enough for being at that weight, you will hate yourself. And I guess that's what happened. So I hated myself so much, to the point where you know, I met boys early and started to do silly things early, bunk school and stuff. Anyway, this is why I'm very thankful for my mum in a lot of cases, because she didn't stop, you know. She always wanted to see the best out of me, because I always had potential. And that's one thing my teachers used to say: Chanel's distracted, but she has potential. Watch her. And I know that as I've grown up, I have this potential, because I have such a drive as an adult now. But distractions, and because of that self-hate, I didn't feel that I was good enough to get to the next step. So anyway, I think my mum did a great job taking me to church, and this is why I feel as a Christian that it's important to make, you know, your teenagers go to church and, you know, get good, you know, Bible education, to know who they are, to know the Word of God. Because what happened is, when I started to go to church as a teenager, it set discipline in my life, and I became more of a disciplined person. So I guess what happened is I became more, I wanted to aspire to be a better person at this point. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to study, I'm going to do my GCSEs, I'm going to pass, I'm going to do my A levels, then I'm going to go uni, and this is next and that is next. And you know, I became, I think at this point I started to love myself. Funny enough, that was like year 11, and I started not hanging around with those bad girls anymore. I started to hang around with these other girls who were actually in a lower set than me, and they were ditzy, to be honest. They wasn't the cleverest girls, but they wasn't doing bad things. So being around them, funny enough, I actually lost so much weight from the year 11 to year 12, because it wasn't, I think I became more happier. The time where I was smoking and stuff, being with the bad girls, I was depressed. And that depression led to comfort eating and, you know, hatred. But when I went into year 11, it's like, oh, sorry, when I went to year 11, year 12, and I stopped hanging around with them silly girls, I started to hang around with more, you know, decent girls who wasn't up to no good. They were just teenagers. Then at least I started to kind of be a bit more, had a little bit more of a vision of my life, and I lost weight automatically. So I went into year 6th form, year 12, about 4 stone lighter, and I didn't even diet for it. What I'm trying to say to you is, I was at a happier state. This is my personal testimony. You know, I was at a happier state. I was so excited about life, and I didn't even fix myself on a diet or a lifestyle change, but I lost weight. I was studying a lot, of course, so that was the forefront of my mind, of studying. Eating wasn't really important, but I was also, I finally got to be a teenager and just do silly things and act like my age, you know, and hang around with people who were my age, who were, you know, embracing being young. And also we used to do little dance step routines. We used to listen to a lot of Bashment. I did anyway. So we used to have dance step routines. So that also, you know, was exercise every single day. So anyway, I'm just gonna forward to my next huge weight gain. I did lose weight actually before I went on holiday with my friends. I was in uni. But my hugest weight gain at that point ever was 20 stones, and I was like a size 24. And this was after I had Emmanuel. This wasn't even during my pregnancy and stuff. With what was going on with Emmanuel in terms of his condition and stuff, and having to raise him by myself, I became, you know, a bit depressed and comfort. The depression wasn't so severe because I had a little bit of support, but when I lost all that support totally, that's when I see my world came crumbling down, and I became so, I hated myself at this point, and I just didn't understand life. So again, weight gain. And you know, I just became so big at that point. This was the biggest I had been at that point in my life, 20 stone. So, you know, overall, I just want to kind of just let you see the pattern in my life and what has happened to me in terms of my weight reduction and weight gain. I feel that every time and let's take out the weight issue. Every time I'm depressed or in a sad state and hate myself, I can't even function well in not even just weight, but all other aspects of my life. However, when I get to a more focused state of, okay, this is the goal, this is what I'm doing, this is the strategy, this is how I'm going to get to it, I end up, you know, seeing better results. And adding the weight situation to it, when I'm happy, I'm more able to lose weight. I'm in a better state of mind to lose weight. And in comparison to when I'm sad, I don't know where to start, or maybe I'll start a diet and it wouldn't last, or you know, I'll give up easily. I just want to encourage you guys to not give up on aspiring to be happy with yourself and to love yourself, because self-love is the most important thing in this whole world. You know, the Bible says to love your neighbors as you love yourself. These are one of two very important commandments from God. So if you do not love yourself, how are you going to love your neighbor? You will be literally not, you can't actually abide by that command. Do you get what I mean? So it's never easy, especially in this world where we are just filled with the media, and you go on Instagram and you see this hottie girl with a swimsuit and bikini, flat stomach and tan skin and looking fresh, makeup on fleek, beat face, and you're like, well, I look ugly. When you get all of those things and you're confronting that, it just sets yourself backwards. You are you and you are beautiful. And anyway, that's the most I can kind of give you. Anyway, I thought I'll make this video because a lot of people have been talking about, you know, I've been fat all my life, or I just got fat at the age of 16 and I was slim before that. And you know, people want advice, so I thought, let me make this video. Also, you need to be inspired. You know, I always say this. I think I said this at the end of my Fat Girls Problem and my How to Love Your Weight. You need to have someone to be inspired by. I'm not saying be obsessed with them and start stalking them, but I have personal plus size vloggers to me that inspire me, and because of them, I'm embracing more confidence, and I feel like, you know, if they can do it, I can. So for example, I bought some swimwear because as part of like my lifestyle and change and stuff and diet change, I'm starting swimming. So I bought a lot of swimwear, and I've seen how these really big women, my size and even larger, have been posing in swimwear and looking so good. And it's like, you know what, I can do that too. And yes, I will be doing blog posts wearing swimwear, especially for lifestyle changes and going swimming, because swimming is a great way to lose weight, if you're wondering. So I highly advise. A lot of people think I'm an inspiration. If that is so, then great. Use me as an inspiration if that's the case. If I come across as very confident to you, so Chanel is someone I want to aspire to be, I never said be like me or be like them, but it's always good to have an example to work towards. As I said, when I was a teenager, I didn't have someone to be inspired by, and I struggled, you know. So, you know, there's always that someone that's going to help you get, you know, inspiration in what you want in life. And yeah, I think that's what I have to say in regards to this topic. I know you guys love my weight topics and, you know, all of that. But I have a lot more to offer you guys. Honestly, I'm just gonna open it all out. Ooh, sorry. I'm gonna open it all out anyway, and I'm gonna delve really deep, and I'm going to help you guys as much as I can, because that's why I'm here on YouTube, you know. So thank you so much for watching. You will see me on my next video. Bye.